Welcome back to diving into project management expertise. In our last episode, we explored the major project management frameworks: Waterfall, Agile, Scrum, and Kanban, and when to use them. But here is the thing. Knowing about frameworks is one thing, actually applying them in real projects is another. And that's exactly what we are going to cover today. Let me ask you this. Have you ever started a project, chosen a framework, and then realized things aren't going as planned? Maybe your team struggles to stick to deadlines. Maybe you are trying Agile, but your stakeholders expect a rigid plan. Or maybe you've been assigned a project and thought, which framework do I use? And how do I actually make it work? I once participated in a project where we developed a software product that needed to integrate with another software product. Naturally, an Agile framework seemed like the best choice. But then there was a catch. The other 8 partners in the project consortium were from academia, and they preferred the Waterfall methodology with strict milestones and documentation-heavy processes. So what do you do in such cases? And this doesn't just happen in software projects. Imagine working on a marketing campaign where one team wants to follow an Agile sprint model, but senior management expects a rigid annual campaign plan. Or picture a manufacturing project where Agile principles of iteration could improve production, but strict regulations require structured, sequential planning. These are real challenges what project managers face every day. That's what today's episode is all about. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to implement project frameworks step by step, how to adapt frameworks when things go wrong, real-world examples of how different industries use project management frameworks. This is where theory meets practice. So let's get started. We have spent some time understanding what project management frameworks are, but how do we actually use them in real world? Many project managers struggle with bridging the gap between theoretical knowledge and practical implementation. The key is to break down into 3 crucial steps. Step number 1. Identifying project needs. Before selecting a framework, you need to analyze the project scope, complexity, and constraints. Ask yourself, how predictable are the project requirements? How much flexibility does the project require? What are the timelines and stakeholder expectations? Example: a government contract for infrastructure development will have rigid regulations, making Waterfall a better fit, whereas a startup developing an innovative app may need Agile to adapt quickly to user feedback. Key takeaway: selecting a framework should align with business goals, industry requirements, and project uncertainty levels. Number 2. A project manager's struggle when frameworks clash. Let's look at a real-world struggle a project manager faced when trying to apply a framework in the wrong environment. A mid-sized logistics company wanted to increase efficiency and optimize their delivery processes. Their IT department was enthusiastic about using Agile to manage the development of their new route planning software. However, the operations team responsible for delivery and fleet management was used to rigid schedules and fixed workflows. As the project kicked off, misalignment quickly became a major issue. The operations team was frustrated by the lack of the clear long-term plan. The IT team struggled with constant demands for detailed reporting instead of iterative releases. Executives were caught in the middle, unsure whether to commit to Agile or stick to traditional planning. How they overcame it? Instead of forcing a single framework, the company adopted a hybrid approach. The IT team used Agile to iterate on software updates and adapt to user feedback. The operations team followed a waterfall structure for scheduling and logistics planning. Regular alignment meetings were introduced to bridge communication gaps between the two teams. Leadership redefined project goals to ensure that Agile and Waterfall could coexist, providing both flexibility and predictability. As a result, the project succeeded by balancing Agile innovation in software with the structured, process-driven approach needed for logistics. This hybrid model ultimately optimized their delivery system without disrupting core operations. Key takeaway: forcing a single framework doesn't always work. The best approach is to blend frameworks where necessary and ensure that teams remain aligned in expectations and workflows. And number 3, tracking progress and adjusting when needed. No framework is one size fits all, and even after selecting a framework, teams may need to adapt along the way. Continuous improvement is key. Regularly review project milestones and challenges. Identify whether adjustments to the framework are needed. Gather feedback from team members and stakeholders. Example: Tesla uses an adaptive project management approach, combining agile development for software updates with lean and structured processes for manufacturing. This allows them to innovate while maintaining production efficiency. Key takeaway: frameworks should be flexible enough to evolve based on project needs, market conditions, and team dynamics. Applying frameworks in real-world scenarios requires more than just choosing a model. It involves understanding project requirements, team dynamics, and flexibility in execution. By following these steps, you'll be better prepared to use frameworks effectively in your own projects. Let's look at 3 industries: technology, construction, and healthcare, and explore how different frameworks work in each. Agile in technology, software development. One of the most well-known applications of Agile is in software development. Companies like Google, Microsoft, and Spotify rely on Agile to build and redefine their products quickly and efficiently. Example: Spotify's Agile model. Spotify uses a customized Agile approach by dividing teams into squads, tribes, and chapters and guilds. Squads are small, cross-functional teams that operate independently, like mini startups. Each squad focuses on a specific feature or function and follows Agile principles. Tribes are groups of squads working on related areas to maintain collaboration and avoid silos. Chapters are experts in specific domains. For example, backend engineers, UX designers across squads who share knowledge and best practices. And guilds are voluntary communities of interest that span across squads and tribes to ensure best practices are shared. Agile allows them to continuously deliver updates without disrupting the user experience. Key takeaways: Agile works well for fast-paced industries where quick iterations are necessary. Teams function best when they are empowered to make decisions without excessive bureaucracy. Continuous feedback loops ensure products evolve based on user needs. Waterfall in construction, building a skyscraper. Unlike software, construction projects require meticulous planning. A skyscraper can be built in iterations. It needs a structured sequential process where each phase is completed before the next begins. For example, Burj Khalifa, a structured construction approach. The Burj Khalifa, standing at 828 meters, was built using a structured, sequential project approach similar to the waterfall methodology. The project followed well-defined phases where each step had to be carefully planned, approved, and completed before moving to the next. Foundation first, 192 deep piles were completed before vertical construction. Structural core and steel reinforcements followed, ensuring load-bearing capacity. Cladding and exterior completion came later, followed by interior work. Detailed documentation and approvals were required at each phase to maintain safety and structural integrity. While construction projects follow structured phases, they also use parallel work streams where possible to optimize timelines. Key takeaways. Waterfall is ideal for projects with fixed requirements and clear milestones. Each phase must be completed before moving forward, minimizing errors. Regulatory requirements and safety standards demand a highly structured approach. Hybrid in healthcare, managing a new hospital project. Healthcare projects require both structure and flexibility, while building a hospital may follow Waterfall. Implementing new medical technologies or digital patient management systems may require Agile. Example: implementing an electronic health record system. Many hospitals use a hybrid project management approach when rolling out electronic health records. The hardware installation follows a structured waterfall process, while the software implementation follows Agile, allowing developers to tweak features based on user feedback. Key takeaways. Hybrid models allow industries to balance structure with adaptability. Combining Waterfall and Agile can optimize both physical and digital transformation projects. Flexibility in one area can complement rigid planning in another. So, as you can see, each industry requires a different approach. But what happens when a framework isn't working? Implementing a project management framework sounds simple in theory, but in reality, organizations face major challenges when trying to apply these frameworks effectively. Let's explore some common obstacles and how to overcome them. First one is resistance to change. One of the biggest challenges when introducing a new framework, especially Agile, is resistance from teams and stakeholders. People are naturally hesitant to adopt new methods, especially when they are comfortable with their current ways of working. How to overcome it? Start with pilot projects to showcase the benefits of the framework. Provide training and mentorship to help teams adapt gradually. Get leadership support to drive cultural change within the organization. Real-world example: Microsoft shift to Agile. When Microsoft moved from Waterfall to Agile for its software development, there was significant internal resistance. However, by starting with smaller teams, proving Agile's efficiency, and gradually rolling it out, they successfully transitioned the entire development ecosystem. Number 2. Choosing the wrong framework. Another common mistake is selecting a framework that doesn't align with the project needs. Not every project benefits from Agile, and not every team can work in a rigid waterfall structure. How to overcome it? Well, analyze project complexity, team experience, and industry requirements before choosing a framework. Consider a hybrid approach that combines elements of multiple frameworks. Often evaluate whether the chosen framework is working and be willing to adjust when needed. Example: a construction firm using Agile. A construction company tried adopting Agile principles, but due to strict regulatory requirements and sequential dependencies, they realized that Waterfall was a better fit. However, they integrated Agile for smaller, non-technical tasks, creating a hybrid model that worked best for them. Number 3. Lack of clear communication. Even the best framework will fail if communication between the teams and stakeholders is weak. Many projects face delays and confusion because expectations, deliverables, and priorities are not clearly communicated. How to overcome it? Establish regular check-ins and stand-up meetings to align teams. Use project management tools like Jira, Trello, or Asana to maintain transparency. Define clear roles and responsibilities within the chosen framework. Example: NASA's Mars rover project. NASA used Agile principles to develop software for the Mars rover mission. Given the complexity of the project, strong communication between engineers, scientists, and software developers was critical to ensure smooth execution and avoid misunderstandings. Number 4. Inconsistent stakeholder involvement. For a project to succeed, stakeholders need to be involved at every stage, not just at the beginning or end. Many projects fail because stakeholders disappear mid-project and return too late to fix misalignments. How to overcome it? Engage stakeholders through regular progress updates and demo sessions. Use an agile approach like Scrum, where stakeholders provide continuous feedback. Ensure stakeholders are accountable for their contributions. For example, Amazon's agile product development. Amazon integrates stakeholders throughout the entire development cycle. Product managers, engineers, and business leaders constantly collaborate, ensuring that feedback is incorporated before products reach the market. This minimizes costly errors and aligns projects with customer expectations. Adapting a project management framework isn't just about following a process. It's about making it work for your specific project and team. Key takeaways: overcome resistance to change through training and leadership support. Select the right framework based on project complexity and industry needs. Prioritize clear communication to keep teams aligned and engaged. Involve stakeholders consistently to avoid last-minute surprises. By understanding these challenges and how to overcome them, you'll be better prepared to apply project management frameworks successfully in real world. As a project manager, it is your job to adapt the framework, not to force it when it's not working. The future of project management frameworks is being shaped by three major forces: AI and automation. AI-driven tools are already assisting project managers by predicting risks, optimizing workflows, and automating administrative tasks. In the future, AI could help customize frameworks dynamically, ensuring the best approach for every unique project. Hybrid approaches. More and more organizations are blending Agile, Waterfall, and Lean methodologies to create custom frameworks that meet their unique project needs. As companies become more flexible, these hybrid models will dominate. Remote and global project management. As remote teams become the norm, project management frameworks must evolve to support asynchronous collaboration, virtual teams, and cloud-based planning tools. Project management isn't static, it's constantly evolving. The best project managers are the ones who stay ahead of trends, continuously learn, and adapt their strategies to the changing business landscape. What challenges have you faced when applying project management frameworks in real-world projects? Have you ever had to adjust or combine different frameworks to make a project work? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be reading and responding. This helps this video to be seen by more people. And if you found this episode valuable, don't forget to like this video to support the channel. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. Share this with your team or colleagues, because great project management is a skill that benefits everyone. In the next episode, we'll dive into how to effectively manage project stakeholders, a skill that can make or break a project success. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye!